Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Footy Travellers Podcast.
Back in the good old days, we used to fly with the team. So when I covered Man United, you were allowed in the team plane, and that's not happened for 10 years now, but you were allowed to travel with the team. And I'm just saying this because it's not really an unusual travel model. Well, I suppose it is unusual that you're flying with the team, but Sir Alex Ferguson would insist that if you're flying with the team, you have to wear a suit and tie. Now, journalism is quite a casual, scruffy profession, I guess. So we had all these angry journalists at the back of this plane wearing a suit and tie that we never wore for the job. And just so you look smart, because obviously the players under Ferguson wore a suit, so you could understand that. But it was there were times when I remember being one game in Copenhagen, October, November time. It's absolutely freezing, and you can't get warm in a suit. You just can't. And it was almost like it was doing it so we'd all be really cold at the game, that we sat in these suits that were just not suitable to watch a football match. So I miss those days. You used to fly with the team because, what would happen is we would always used to wind Ferguson up because the team would finish and the team bus would go to the airport, and then more often than not they were waiting for us because we'd have to, write our copy and file our copy, and you'd have deadlines to meet. So we couldn't leave, with the team, and we'd always get the tap on the watch, the old Fergie time from the travel guy. So we'd always get to the airport after the team, and it would always live with me. It's just every time you get on the plane, if United had lost, you'd have to walk to the back of the plane, past Ferguson and all the players. And first of all, they'd lost, so they were in a bad mood. You'd probably written something that they didn't like, and you'd kept them waiting. So you can imagine that it's almost like a walk of shame down this aisle on the plane, just the back of the plane, so you could head down, try not to catch the eye. There were occasions when certain players would have a go at certain journalists, and it would get a bit heated, but that lasted until, I think, 2013, 14. We've not been on team play. Nowadays, it's, the corporates or the team staff is so big, they can't accommodate journalists. But that was a real privilege back in the day to travel with the team. So a team like Man United, you'd be able to speak to Ferguson at the carousel and things like that. So I miss that. I miss those days, because also back in those days, you'd fly after the game, so you'd be getting home at 3:00 in the morning. You wouldn't be waiting for a crappy connection flight the next day, getting you home, at evening. So that was good. And two others. There was a time we were on a summer tour in the US. So it was Louis van Gaal's first game. They were playing LA Galaxy in Pasadena. Now, some reason we decided to book a hotel in Marina del Rey, which was nowhere near Pasadena. So, but obviously Marina del Rey
near the airport,
quite a nice spot. It's got a beach and it's not far from Santa Monica. So we were in this hotel, and we realised that it's so far away that we had to hire a car. So I think one of us went downstairs and went to the front desk, said, "Look, we need a minibus or a van to take 8 people to Pasadena." Gave us a price, said it'll take 2 hours. Fine, no problem. So we booked this bus, and we're waiting outside for this bus to turn up, and a bus doesn't turn up. It's a stretch limo. So we've got this ridiculous stretch limo turns up, and you open it up, and it's got all the twinkly lights, and it's got a bar, and it's got a music system, and you can just imagine this group of middle-aged men, journalists, getting out of a car at football. We just thought, if Fergie sees us, we are, or was it if Van Gaal sees us, we are dead. Who do these guys think we are? But it was a complete mistake. We didn't need to book this stretch limo. But after the game, it took us back to Marina del Rey. We're driving through downtown LA in this stretch limo with the music blown away, and that was a good moment. That was fun. Totally.
You'd be sure to get the glitter off of your suit jackets before you showed up to the game, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then the last one I'm going to mention is because it was after the game at the Nou Camp Nou.
Mm-hmm.
Man United Barcelona 2019. Getting away from that stadium is a nightmare. You can't get a taxi. The metro station is always really, really busy, and it is walkable to the back to the city. It's probably about a 3-mile walk, but it's like, well, it's one of those where if you have to do it, you have to do it. So I started walking, and about 5 minutes after I start walking, this guy goes past in a tuk-tuk. So we're in Barcelona. There's a guy riding a tuk-tuk. So, and he's offering lifts. I'm like, right, okay. So I decided to jump on the back of this tuk-tuk. So I get a tuk-tuk ride from the new camp back to Barcelona at midnight after a game. I'm thinking this really should be in, Mumbai or, Delhi, not in Barcelona.
Thailand.
But, it got me home and it got me a good night's sleep before I flew back. So, yeah, a tuk-tuk in Barcelona is probably as weird as it gets.
Did you get price gouged at all? I feel like that must have been he gets to change his price however he wants to. So was it super expensive? He said, "Sorry."
He certainly wasn't dishing out receipts at the end of it. So,
you were. Yeah, how are you going to be able to expense that?
Tap to pay.
Whatever it was, it was plenty affordable because it got me back. Because otherwise it would have been a really expensive taxi. So yeah, it was fun. That one. It was great.
Right. Oh, that's great.
I love that you have experienced a very different kind of Fergie time. Where it's you're the one holding up his time, which very few people can claim. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a little feather in your cap, I'd say, huh?